Hello YouTube. So today's video is going to be an inbox review of a M60A1 main battle tank from WSN in 135 scale. Please like and subscribe and ring that bell when you want to get notifications when I upload new videos. Okay, so this is the US Marine M60A1 tank from WSN. It's an Asian company. I think it's Japanese, maybe Chinese, I'm not really sure. The box art looks pretty cartoonish, actually. And it's a side opener. Here we have the instruction sheet. It's in black and white. Here we have the colors black, white, royal blue, red, gunmetal, flat black, and flat white. That's not including the flat green, Japanese navy green, Japanese army green, khaki, metallic gray, buff, olive green, and red brown. And Tamiya colors for Tamiya codes for the colors. Here it shows you the tools you need. Start with the bottom of the hull. There's a couple side pieces you have to put on, and these sprocket covers, and the arms. Then the suspension, support rollers, sprockets, and support wheels. And this is, I think, the back piece. And here are the road wheels. Then we go here to the upper hull. Putting parts together for upper hull. Have to drill holes here. These are the boxes here. Pontoon boxes. Details on the rear. Then here 8 we go into the turret. You have the mantle. It's supposed to look like cloth. And a couple of turret details. And here's some more turret details, jerry cans, smoke grenade launchers, rails, hatches. Here we go with bustle racks. And here we have this black netting to put in the bustle racks you have to cut out. And there's a couple of forms here that you can use to do it. And then we have some tow cables, putting the bustle rack on. And more jerry cans and smoke grenade launcher for the other side. Here we have the track, and you can see it's a rubber track. Put the turret on. Last step, you have a crewman. It shows a camo pattern for the crewman. The commander's cupola. It also has a cloth mantle. And I think this is a 30 cal. Maybe a 50 cal, I'm not really sure. The hatch. Has 2 different gun tubes. I've seen it in the box already. It's just showing this one with A23 and A24, but I think it has either it has a 90mm as well as 105, I believe. As you can see, here's the bottom of the hull. It already has the motor compartment and the battery compartment here already installed, and a metal piece for the sprockets. Looking at the bottom here, there's a mark here where the pin mark it goes through in the front. The back looks good. It has a texture to it, like the rough metal, like tanks are. The top of the hull looks like a pretty good details here for the grills and everything. They don't go all the way through. On my Dragon kit from the mouse, it had holes going all the way through. They were actually pretty difficult to paint because you had to get inside all of them. Here's some flash here on the fender. A big piece. There's also flash along here. And here's a chunk taken out of the side here. I'm gonna have to fix that. Here. Once I shave that down, it'll be okay here. And this probably need a little filling here because it goes inside this where it was taken off of the tree. It wasn't taken off very cleanly, or it broke off, I'm not sure. I got it used on eBay, like a lot of my kits. Start with these trees here. I don't see any labeling on the tree, a letter. But here is one set of gun tubes, but this is the 29-4. This is not the gun tube that we use with the kit. Here we have road wheel arms, the support rollers, sprocket covers, the holder the holder for the gun, but it's closed, so you can't build it with the open one. Here's the mount for a 50 cal, but this one's in the commander's cupola, so this is for a different version, not used. Pieces look pretty good. They're kind of shiny. Gonna need cleaned. Have some oil on them. Pin marks here of this piece. It's gonna have to be sanded down and repaired. If it's even used. Here's the commander. A lot of flash on the figure. A lot. And it really doesn't look all that great, really. Because there's a mark down the side, the whole side on both sides. I wouldn't use this figure at all. Other than that, it has to be cleaned with some soapy water. But it's decent. Here we go. Here's the other tree that was in there. This one is numbered. It's D. We have jerry cans. These are some more details. One of the hatches. That's the loader's hatch. Not really sure what these parts are. Here's the mantle. The mantle looks decent. It's pretty smooth. It should be kind of like a maybe field green or so. Here's the parts of the pontoon box. They look good. They look really good, actually. They have this metal, this rough metal look, like the tanks do, and the turret has that look too. The turret has that look, even though it's a little, well, here it's pretty smooth, but on top it's rougher. There's a little flash on the back. The bottom of the turret, you can see part of the mantle here and here, and they look decent as well. There's not a lot of flash on the turret. Here's the towing cables. They're going to be kind of difficult to get off, it looks like, maybe. These pieces are pretty thick here, and sometimes that can be really tricky to get them off without breaking them. But tree looks pretty good, I think. A couple small problems. here is this is tree A. This is the gun tube we'll be using for this version. It actually looks like it's definitely a smaller caliber. Did the A1 have a 90mm? I think so. And I think when they went up to A2 or A3, then they used the 105. But the gun tube looks pretty good, and it's thick, which for a gun tube I think is good, except for the fact that, well, this has a separate piece for the muzzle, but I like them hollow, you know, so you have the hollow look. It's supposed to be hollow in the middle. But if the muzzle is long enough, and well, it's not really that deep. You can see the bottom. I think it might be good to drill it out and glue it on. You won't be able to put it exactly over the thing, but you have to hold it till it dries enough. Drill it out so it looks more hollow. I'll put it on and drill it out carefully. Here's the back. The lights are already in there, so you have to do some extra painting to get the lights red. They don't look like the lights on the Abrams. The lights on the Abrams are like a half moon. These are round. Looks so different. I don't know if it's right or if they were. Probably is. I don't see them making a big mistake like that. And the old style lights like they used to have on these old tanks. Here's the front, the mantle for the commander's cupola, also in this cloth. It looks decent, but this looks kind of weird here where it's not textured. Here's the grenade launchers, and they are definitely not deep enough. That would I would drill them out too, make them deeper so you can't see them that well. And here are the rails for the sides. They look good, and they're thinner here, so it'd be easier to get off without breaking it. Here is pipe. I didn't see it on here. That should be for the amphibious version, I believe. There's some flash here. The hatch looks decent. And here these parts look decent as well. There's not separate parts for the periscopes, so you'll have to paint them in there. They're there. I usually just paint mine black. They're supposed to be kind of mirrored, either red or blue, depending on the tank. But I do mine in like a semi-gloss black. It looks good too. I've seen that there's a way you can get them to have that glossy look. That if you use this like a red tissue paper, or this like a magenta tissue paper, and glue it on there, and then put a couple of gloss coats over it with a brush, then it has that look. And here are the covers, road wheels, sprockets. This tree looks really good actually. It looks like a different molding than some of the rest. There are some, like here on this road wheel, some flash a little bit. I don't see flash as a big problem. It can be taken care of easy. Big pin marks that show through the other side. That's a major problem. Like I had with the Airfix HMS Victory. It had that problem, and I've seen them on here too. Deep bit pin mark on the underside, and you can see it on the top side as well. That's not good molding, I don't think. I see the road wheels look really good. These will be rubber, so paint them flat black, or if you have rubber, looks good. And here are the caps for the, I'm not sure what that is. It's probably a cap for the sprocket or for the support roller. Over here, the hubs, they look good too. And you see the bolts there, really good, really defined. Looks good. And then we take a look at the track here. You see on some of these rubber tracks, you have one side, the outside looks good, and the inside is nothing. Especially on some older tanks or some kits that are like old East Block kits. They have that problem. But these ones look actually pretty decent on both sides. And let me see how they fit together. They look like they have a good fit too, where you won't see the separation once you get them together. It looks really good. They fit well together. The only problem is on this side, and I would just take this side and you know, put it on the top or by the sprocket or something, so it's not visible. See what the decals look like real quick. U.S. Army. This is U.S. Marine tank. It has U.S. Army decals. That's kind of weird. The flags, which we wouldn't use anyways. The U.S. Army, once again a U.S. Army with a number. And you have these reflector markings, which in a war zone it wouldn't have reflector markings. They cover them over or take them off before they go anywhere. Well, I paid less than 15 euros for this kit, so I think it looks pretty good for the price I paid. I would spend more money on more kits. If I don't think it's really necessary a lot. This will build into a good M60. It looks like. It needs a little bit of work, but not terrible. I won't use the figure. The figure is the only part that really looks bad. A whole lot of flash, and all along the side is a seam where it was molded. Other than that, the parts look pretty good. There's some cleanup, but it's not too bad. Thanks for watching. Until next time.